Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to this special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, as they take on the third-year man, Mitchell Trubisky, and the NFC North champion, Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears offense coming up here. A lot of ups and downs for the Bears' third-year signal caller, Trubisky, Charles. There was a time where the morning shows both in Chicago and nationwide were saying maybe it's going to be time to move on for Mitchell Trubisky, but kind of righted the ship a bit with a few good games in the second half.
Well, he was healthy for one thing. You remember earlier in the year against Minnesota, he hurt his shoulder and had to leave the ball game. And then later in the season when they were playing, I believe, on a Sunday night against the Rams out in Los Angeles, he hurt his hip late in the game. Got himself healthy, and they got back to where they could run the football with Mitchell Trubisky, and he's at his best when quarterback run game scrambles are a part of what he's doing. He throws the ball better. He gets in better sync with his offense. I like Mitchell Trubisky a lot. He cares about the game, and one quote has stuck with me. I had him before Week 15 against Green Bay, and he told me and my crew, my head coach Matt Nagy, no one's had my back like he has. I think that those two will stay together in lockstep moving forward to 2020.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Able to slither by. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And down to the 16-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the Chiefs are going to get him. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing here, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Certainly not what they wanted defensively. We're hoping to hold them to a field goal. Instead, they're able to convert the 3rd and long here on the opening drive.
So not only was it a flipping field position and a flipping fortunes, but how about mentally? You just described it. They were hoping to force them into a field goal there. Instead, they give up the big gain, and now it's 1st and goal. The offense has got them on their heels.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal, this Chiefs defense. They're giving it all they got. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
Well, that's a solid opening drive, and nothing fancy there at the end, just pounded in.
That felt like old school football, didn't it? All right, down at the goal line, and not only were they able to punch it in, as you just emphasized, they did it against a goal line defense that's stacked to stop the run. So if you're on that offensive side of the ball, you feel great about yourself right now. You're actually able to dominate a group that expected you to run the ball and still punched it in.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Always fun to see Patrick Mahomes, and we'll get a look at him here as he brings out the Chiefs offense. Likely, though, not going to be a second straight MVP season for Patrick Mahomes. Not anywhere near the 50 touchdowns that he threw a season ago, but maybe a more mature Patrick Mahomes this year. What do you say?
I would agree with that. And remember when we started this season, we kind of joked a little bit, a little tongue-in-cheek, that if he doesn't throw 50 touchdowns, everybody's going to talk about what a bad year Patrick Mahomes had. Don't forget, missed some time with a knee injury. Yeah. Kansas City's defense had its struggles. But bottom line is, they went to New England not long ago and won. They didn't do that last year. Lost in New England twice. Right? I mean, lost New England once in the regular season, then at home in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game in 2018. So to see that maturation where he could find a way to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, I would agree that he's a better quarterback this year, even if the numbers don't support it.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Well, last year, Chris Conley was the third option at receiver for Kansas City. He shipped off to Jacksonville. Now they're hoping that Robinson can help fill that void. And Andy Reid has said that he and Mahomes are developing a great rapport, hoping to improve upon the 22 times they connected last season. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got it to Williams. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Mahomes completes that one to Watkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Clinton Dix attracted a lot of attention when he was about to enter the NFL for his ability to play the football in the air. He's actually shown that he can tackle pretty well in the league, too.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Mahomes now to throw. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that field.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
As the Bears come back out here, we talked about their quarterback Mitchell Trubisky earlier and their head coach Matt Nagy, but bottom line, it's not going to be a second consecutive postseason appearance for this team. They just took a little bit too long to get rolling. They were a better team in the second half, but by then both the Packers and the Vikings were well clear of them.
That is so true. And look, all the issues they had on offense, Mitchell Trubisky struggling with injuries and inconsistency early. Then on the defensive side, I think it was underrated, the loss of Danny Trevathan at inside linebacker. He went out fairly early. Akeem Hicks gets hurt in London against Oakland with an elbow injury. He doesn't make it back until Week 15 against Green Bay. Without Akeem Hicks in the middle, that really hurt Khalil Mack and Leonard Floyd coming off the edge, because teams can now devote extra attention out to those guys since they didn't have to worry about the pass rush as much up the middle.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You. Slam.
First down, a run with Cohen. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on, let's go.
On second down, it's Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, his second sack of the night.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Kansas City's offense, and Charles, a 4th straight AFC West title for the Chiefs, but still no Super Bowl appearance in 50 seasons. Could this year be different?
I think it could, and I was skeptical about it mid-season. But the reason I say yes, defensive line playing much better. I'm going to give you 2 names. Derek Nottie, defensive tackle. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, defensive end. They're stuffing the run game better. They're pushing the pocket against the passers. That's helped out the back end. And, of course, any team that has Patrick Mahomes at quarterback is always a threat. This is a good year for Kansas City to make that run.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Rashad Breeland there defensively and able to knock that one down to the ground.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Big series right here.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. These two teams all tied after one. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Trubisky to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
In your face.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He finds Robinson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Travis Kelce unable to pull it in. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Mahomes now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Mahomes firing complete, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. This is McCoy. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
Now Trubisky on first down. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
And an alley to run. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good decision in the end. The pull it and run gets him 9 yards and a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. On first down, it's Cohen, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike, man, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery, and the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Trubisky to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over, I guess.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Throwing quickly, Mahomes gets this out to Watkins. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Williams. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Mahomes now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Second and 5 now. Mahomes throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Mahomes to throw once more. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is gonna wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start the second half here with Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Looking to throw on second down. Mahomes. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Bilal Nichols drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Cohen. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On second down, Montgomery. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike. 180. Mike. I got him.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Going up top for Miller. And that will be incomplete.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So after the run by McCoy, here's another 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danny Trevathan able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go play action. Trubisky gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Check 53. Blue down.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Off the draw, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now Mahomes' throw complete to his tight end, Kelsey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Working from the gun, Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Butker's kick here is good, and that's going to tie us at 13. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick, But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Let's go, defense. Our time.
Now Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. It's complete to Robinson.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and he dialed up the pressure and got to him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. The busy night continues for Williams. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mahomes. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing now is Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it with Williams. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Let's get this.
Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 13.
He's not going to get me.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. Go. Wide.
Here's Trubisky to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. It's Williams on the catch. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Everyone's got four down.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Trubisky. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use... Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Trubisky now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Quick pass out to Miller. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
180.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Trubisky. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Caught by Montgomery. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Good push up front in that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
180, 54, too low, got cut.
On first down, it's Cohen. Damian Wilson in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after him.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Rolling to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Anthony Hitchens, his 2nd sack of the night.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now a run with Montgomery. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner Kyle Fuller. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down now. It's Montgomery, and now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down by 6. A minute 46 to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught by Watkins.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. Back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Mahomes to throw. This is caught by Robinson. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left, want to save it.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
59 mark.
He'll look to throw. Got his man, it's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now Mahomes. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.